Hey, I'd like to welcome you to another episode of the Mission Matters Money Podcast, your source for all things money. My name is Adam Torres. You can follow me on Instagram at AskAdamTorres. Keep up with my book releases, book tour schedule, signings, all that other good stuff. Always love to connect with you there. And as always, if you'd like to apply to become a co-author of one of my upcoming books, just head on over to the website, missionmatters.com, and click on Become an Author to apply. All right, so I have Matt Belcher on the line. He's founder and managing partner over at CalTier Realty. Matt, welcome to the show.
Hey, Adam. Thank you so much for having me.
Oh, man, so excited to get into today's topic. So you have a couple of funds launching. I'm excited to get into that. But before we get into it, I want to talk a little bit more about what you're doing over at CalTier Realty. Tell us a little bit more about the company, please.
Sure, I'd love to. Thank you very much. We're a prop tech company. We're trying to, and I hope we are achieving our goal, but we're trying to disrupt the real estate industry by providing access to these commercial grade investments that typically most, the everyday person on the street doesn't get their hands onto. These are typically investments where you're only going to see them if you're in a closed network or you're invited by, let's say, a respected partner or a referral in some way. So what we're trying to do is we're trying to open that up to the masses and allow pretty much anyone the ability to invest even small amounts into these commercial grade investments to build their wealth. A lot of people want to use real estate to build their wealth, and we think that everybody who wants to should be able to. So that's our major goal of what we're doing over here.
That's awesome, and I love this what's been taking place in the market. So really democratizing real estate investment. In the past, people weren't able to get access to these type of investments and things. And I think that's a great transition. So I know you have two different funds that you have a lot of action going on in right now. So you're CalTier International, and then also CalTier Reg A. I mean, let's just jump right into today's topic. Where do you want to start with these two funds?
Okay, perfect. Thanks. Let's start with the Reg A because it's most relevant domestically. And Reg A, for those of you listening, isn't the music. It's Regulation A, so we shorten it to Reg A. People always tell me, why are you talking about Bob Marley? And I say, I'm not a Bob Marley. It's SEC Reg A Fund. And just real quick, before I just talk about that, I do encourage everyone to go check out CalTierRealtyFund.com. On there is the offering circular, and I'm required to say that just so everyone can go read the details. Anyway, the fund is really focused at what I just said at the top of the show there, is allowing anybody in the United States, regardless of wealth level, regardless of experience, to participate in cash flowing multifamily. So, these are apartment complexes. So, when people look to do, just fourplexes, or they may be getting like a 16-unit apartment complex, it's hard to do that. It's really hard to do that when you're doing 100 units, 200 units, 300 units. You have to get a lot of money put together. You need a lot of cash. You need to go borrow money, on the loan side. And very often those transactions actually happen really quickly. So, people that are selling those assets, they know the worth of them, the value, because, you've got tenants in there that are paying typically, and it's a very valuable asset to acquire, but you've got to have the skill sets and the ability to put it all together. So for most people, that's not attainable. It's a very difficult thing to do. Our Reg A fund allows anyone to invest from $500 and up. And we then go out as a professional organization, because we have the experience, the background, and the partnerships. We take that fund money and we go and invest it across a portfolio of those types of assets, those multifamily apartment complexes. So, for most people, it's really a great way I personally feel it's really a great way for them to build their portfolio in real estate while not having to go through all of the pains and all of the work that's required, to achieve that. So that's the Reg A as a summary.
Let's talk a little bit more about the types of investments that will go into this fund. So you mentioned multifamily. Let's go a little bit deeper. It could be on what your plans are going forward or what you're already doing. But give us a little bit more of a flavor of multifamily, whether it's geography, whether it's is it a value add you're going after? Give us a little bit of flavor, please.
Yeah, that's a great question. Yeah, so we're absolutely value add play. That's where the upside is in that real estate, which again makes it really hard because there's a lot of people going after those assets. So we're typically looking, what we call a B to C thing. Most real estate's sort of scored anywhere from A to D. So we're going in kind of this C to B marketplace. So if it's a C plus asset, let's say, we feel like we can acquire it and then we can reposition it. So we do renovations and we'll lift it to, let's say, a B minus or a B level asset. We're only going to do that in areas that we're looking around the local geography and saying, economically, does this asset need it? So is there things going in, like is there a Costco going in? Is there a new CVS? Are there other apartment complexes that are being renovated? So we look at the comps in the area. We look at whether colleges are being built, whether schools are going in. Infrastructure, obviously, is a big part of it. And we feel like when we repositioned this asset and brought it up to, the market standard there, then, we will lift rent. But, for those tenants in there, they get, modern, updated, refreshed assets. So that's where the value add is, and then we hold on to that. Typically, the business plan is a 5 to 7 year old. I will caveat that with, COVID and the virus that's going on. That may change right now, but that's typically, our business plan, and they're the types of assets that we go after.
Tell us a little bit more about the international fund. Let's switch it up a bit. Tell us a little bit about your plans for that.
Yeah, so you can obviously hear from my accent. I'm not from the US. I love this country. I've been here. This will be my 10th year. And actually, I think my friends at home think I sound really American. So that's kind of funny because you probably don't. But they always tell me I sound so American. But there you go. So, so because I'm from the UK and because I have, myself and some of the other partners, we have a lot of experience with international funds. So something called foreign direct investment is FDI, and that flows into this country. Estimated about 500 billion last year came in specifically for commercial real estate. And there's flows in and out of this country, and there's flows in and out of every country. So because we have this background and I've been involved in the FDI market for a long time, we realized that there's a lot of people internationally that want to participate in US real estate. The reality for most people in the rest of the world is that the US is still probably one of the most stabilized economies, in the world. And in the countries they're in, they would like to deploy the money here, which brings up massive challenges. How do they do it? How do you identify it? How do you participate? It's really difficult. So that international fund is focused almost entirely on those investors that want to deploy capital into the US, into a portfolio of multifamily assets. So it's a very targeted fund that will go after with our partners. We have a big network of partners that have about several $1 billion worth of experience of going after these assets, and we'll partner with them to make the acquisitions. And the plan is that we grow the portfolio, and everybody's investment grows with it. That's the big plan. The other part is that we're putting everything on the blockchain. So in today's world, security, background checks, data protection is key, especially when you're talking internationally. And so our platform is actually bringing investment through, in a securitized way through blockchain. And the idea being is once we've onboarded investors, we can then offer them other types of investments. So right now we're very focused on multifamily. We like it. But down the road, we may do medical office. We may do, storage. We can branch out depending on where the market is at that particular time. So there's a bigger picture behind just investing in multifamily. It's more about bringing a brand globally where we can redirect those investments.
Fantastic. And fun fact for you, Matt. So one of the top podcast download areas for podcasting in general, UK. So United States, Canada,
Is that right?
UK. That is correct. UK is in, I think it's number 3, so right behind Canada. So that international fund, maybe we're going to get you some downloads over there. You thought we weren't, and they're going to know you don't sound American. It's okay, especially with
So, that's excellent.
So Matt, that being said, if somebody's listening to this, whether they're here, UK, or anywhere, and they want more information on funds or just what you're doing over at CalTier Realty in general, we're going to definitely have the link in the show notes, but let's leave it for them one more time. If they're at their desk and they have their pen and they want to write it down, how do they go out there and get some more information?
Sure. Thanks, Todd. So they can go to for the Regulation A Fund. They can go to CalTier, so CalTier realtyfund.com, CalTierRealtyFund.com. If they want to check out the company as a whole, you just go to CalTierRealty.com. And I can always be contacted. My email is matt@CalTierRealty.com. And we're really open. I mean, I think that's one of the biggest things we're trying to achieve here is, I've been invested in real estate for a number of years, and I always find it's kind of a closed door. It seems like a black box, right, where you put your money, you don't really know what's going on. Any investor that invests with us, or before they invest, you can always get hold of one of the managing partners. So myself or one of the other 2 partners, we're always willing to jump on the phone. We think having that touch point with investors is the most important thing outside of the real estate. So always happy to talk. One of the 3 of us will talk, and if my team will probably take the first call, and then they'll set up a call with us. But we're always available.
Fantastic. Well, Matt, definitely been great having you on the show today. I appreciate you sharing more about your background in real estate and all the great stuff you're doing over at CalTier. And to the audience, as always, thank you for tuning in. Hope you got a lot of value out of this. If you did, don't forget to subscribe to the podcast, leave me a review in the Apple iTunes store. And if you're watching this on our YouTube channel, Mission Matters Money, definitely give us a subscribe there, but also leave some comments on the video. Love to know what kind of projects and things that you're working on. And Matt, thanks again for coming on the show.
Adam, thank you so much. Huge fan. I really appreciate it.